Traditionally, TV for B2B audiences is extremely expensive, right? So, for instance, if you bought a $200,000 spot in nationwide TV of your Procter Gamble, your entire audience is essentially guaranteed by the demo that you're buying, right? But if you're IBM and you're trying to reach Fortune 500 decision makers, at most, if you're lucky, you have 100,000 people who are trying to reach across the country, and at a given point in time, less than 2% of those people are going to be tuned into that one spot. Right, so your costs for B2B television are 50 to 100 times higher than what your costs are for consumer TV, and that's why we don't see that many B2B ads on TV outside of the big guns, outside the IBMs and Microsofts and whatnot. So with OTT, what we're seeing is a new opportunity to bring and democratize that opportunity for a lot of the other B2B brands that are out there. So we're able to reduce the costs of B2B advertising in the television context by up to 95%. And we're able to do that with our proprietary technology. We spent the past year building out an IP and device graph, so we know for any given IP address, whether it's a household, whether it's a company, and so we're able to map that, bridge it with a device graph to deliver B2B ads to people when they're at home, because hopefully they're not watching TV at work all day long.
So how do you know, you know the IP address, how do you know that they're an interested business person who's interested in tech or in healthcare or in media?
Yeah, so we're part of a movement that's called account-based marketing. In the B2B world, there's so much talk about alignment between sales and marketing teams. So we apply some of that data from the outset when building this graph to figure out, which companies we should be even going after. So we're not just going after any company. Usually our clients give us a list of 1,000 companies to kind of target, and so that way we can really hone in on the decision centers where these people are to make sure we're reaching the right audiences and then delivering the right message at home that makes sense in that context.
And the inventory, you work with SSPs, or explain a little bit about that.
Absolutely, yeah. So the inventory is all activated through a programmatic, from our end, through a series of programmatic PMP deals, private marketplace deals. So yeah, we work with all the major video SSPs, including Telaria.
Oh, that's cool. And so tell us a little bit about the buy side. Who's buying and how do they buy? And how are these private marketplace deals structured?
Yeah, so the private marketplace deals right now are structured between us and the video suppliers, whether they be the SSPs as a whole or whether they be specific television networks, for instance. The buyers come to us. Essentially, we work on a cost per view model. So we guarantee a completed view for a specific audience, and we're able to source it and guarantee completion rates, and we handle essentially all the execution on our end, and our advertisers get reporting and insights into how many households we are actually delivering ads to from a B2B perspective.
So just give us a little of anecdote, perhaps insight on how it's going and how some of the activations are going.
Yeah, so this product's fairly new. We launched it this quarter, and the excitement's been pretty high so far. We're already running some pilots right now, and I think it's just an exciting time because brands inherently understand the power of television. I think it's the most important branding medium that's out there. It's traditionally been out of reach for so many B2B advertisers. So for us, it's been really interesting to see a lot of progress and interest come when we expose this opportunity that they've never had before.
Because beyond the endemic trades and LinkedIn, there's not that many opportunities, I suppose.
Yeah, when you think about the big pillars of B2B marketing, it's events, right? Like where we're at right now. Email is a big part of it, but because of things like GDPR, in Europe you're already seeing a lot of email opt-outs, or rather, they didn't opt back into the list. So people are looking for different channels to really reach their customers, and this is an effective way of doing it without spamming their inbox, or calling people nonstop until they hang up on you. This is a great way of just building brand equity in an environment where they're not surrounded by the chaos of work, and they're just in a lean back experience at home. And this is just an easy way of just inserting a message and standing out in that context.